was kind of hypothetical when we were talking to you at the combine. You hadn't seen the players, and obviously still haven't really seen them too much on the field. But just how much better of a feel do you have for what you're inheriting and what you're taking over here, John?
Well, like I told you before, I'm like a kid in a candy store. So every day I step on the field and I see all these weapons. It's a good feeling. And these guys have been working their butts off. And it's just exciting to see them. They're listening. They're true professionals. And that's, daily I get to know these guys. You know what I mean? So, the old line's over there. I go over there, be with them. I want to be around those guys. And I just kind of pick a group and try to get to know these guys on a personal level.
I think you said it back in February, and Brunel said it today. Most of the changes will be very subtle to the playbook, to the offense from what we've seen. What do you think the biggest change is? What's the biggest influence you're going to have on that?
Just some ads maybe I've done before in the past. We'll see. It'd be something like that. But other than that, I'm not changing much. Why? It's working, right? So that would be the smartest thing to do. No, it's just about like techniques and certain things. How I talk, how I see it, how I'm teaching them the concepts, why we're calling this. It might be something they've never heard before because I'm teaching everybody how you teach the quarterback. Because I think that's important. Like, why are we running this play? Well, they should know. You know what I mean? So I think when you do that, when I used to coach the wideouts, I used to teach them how the quarterback sees it, the read. And when you do that, the game slows down for you. You play a lot faster. You know what I'm saying?
When you say ads, what are you referring to? Like what's your
plays or concepts maybe that was not here. Let's take a look at it.
What were your earliest impressions? I guess it's for Isaac, just a few days of watching him in shorts and helmet, but what did you like?
Thought he did a good job for, it wasn't much. It was a lot of endo. But as what we're looking at, is he listening? Is he learning? How does he learn? Because that's the number one thing we got to do with these guys, all these young guys. How do we teach these guys? Because everybody learns differently, right? So I thought he did a really good job for what we were doing. It wasn't a lot. But he tried, he's taken from what he learned in the meeting room and went on the field and he was doing it. So, and I tell you what, it was a pretty good group of rookies. It wasn't a lot of mental errors, and that's a tribute to the coaches, but it's also a tribute to the players that we always have here.
I'm sorry. Dan Campbell, obviously an aggressive coach, known as an aggressive coach, fourth downs and all that. Do you consider yourself an aggressive offensive coordinator, and have you had the fourth down discussion with him about just parameters?
I'm learning that, but I am aggressive. That's kind of how I teach. When you're on the field, I think you'll probably be hearing me a lot because I want everybody to hear me. It's not like I'm yelling at somebody. I want everybody to hear me. But no, I'm in the process of all that, situational football and learning that, hey, once we reach a certain place on the field, my mindset has to change. I have to learn to do that because that's different. Yeah. And that's different. So, it'll change from game to game. And Dan will let me know beforehand because it's important because it's a different mindset.
Do you look forward to that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whatever it takes. I don't care. You just tell me what to do.
John,
and I got you.
I'm sorry. I'm curious. At this point in his development, third year, at this point in Hendon Hooker's development, I'm curious. What do you want to see from him this spring?
Just everything. I'm still learning him, and it's just get better at this every day. Whatever it is, footwork. Okay, a lot of when you see a quarterback, it's a lot of the footwork. That's the way being around the quarterback for a few years, my last few years, I've learned a lot of the techniques of the footwork and how to get the ball out, how you read the play so you can play a lot faster, so everything's nice and smooth. That's what every quarterback is doing that every single day. Do you have the proper footwork? Are you making the right decision? When you do that, you'll have the proper footwork and it'll help you be more accurate. So we're working with all the quarterbacks, with everybody about technique. All right, and just keep talking about the technique, and then we talk about it. If it's something they feel uncomfortable about, then we'll go back to that way. But everything is about the technique and details of everything. So it's just about being consistent and doing it over and over and over and over, right? Repetitious is the mother of learning. That's how I see it. So the more times we talk about it, the more they're going to understand it.
John, when you were here last time, or the last time you were here,
Yeah.
Jameson was a rookie. He was rehabbing, spent not too much time on the field. What are your first impressions of him since you've been back in the building and working with him?
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. When I first got here and he came in to see me and we had a chat, and this is how I'm painted a picture. This is what you need to do. This is how I see it. He has been unbelievable. Unbelievable. In the meetings, attention to detail. I mean, I'm so excited and to see him this year. It's going to be a breakout year for him. So I can't wait. I just can't wait, man.
One of the pillars of the culture here is collaboration, John. And that goes to the coaching staff, goes to the front office. So this is your first offseason here through free agency and the draft. You were, granted some pretty nice pieces through the draft for the future of this organization. I'm just curious how you viewed the lens of collaboration, working with the front office to, fit the vision of how you will, work with these young players.
Yeah, it's me just fitting in is what they do, because what they've done here in the past has been fantastic, right? So it's just me learning and see how they look at things. That's the biggest thing. But I think I said this before, as a staff, offensive staff, we're doing this together. I mean, the only way you're going to win the Super Bowl is if everybody's on the same page and everybody's doing it together. So that's kind of how I look at it. And I've done that with the players, you know what I mean? So when I'm installing plays and this and that, I'm like, does that make sense? Does that everybody understand that? I want dialogue. And that's what I'm getting right now. And if it's something that doesn't hit your brain, then let's change it so it does hit your brain. So just doing everything together, I think that's the way to go. So it's just me learning to see how everybody works in every department. That's been the biggest thing. But, I mean, it's just me. I have to adapt. So.
You want a fullback in your offense. You had Burton last year, and you had a rookie in rookie camp, and Dane's referencing.
I mean, it's always good. And, what kind of fullback is that? Does that give base defense? Everybody's got some type of fullback, but if you can get a base defense, you could have some different things. But, yeah, you would like to. And, we'll train some guys. We'll train some guys and see if they can do it. If not, we'll continue on.
John, back to J-Mo for a second. I think you ran the fastest 40 at your combine back in '93. How does your prime speed compare to his prime speed?
Not even close. Not even close, man. I was a long strider. So it took, I have to get going. Like, he can go from 0 to 60 fast. I mean, it's amazing. I haven't been around a guy like him. I mean, there's two players. I mean, Gibbs, too. I mean, the explosion. I mean, I was around Reggie Bush. That explosion, it's impressive, those two guys.
On a different note, just what's it been like to reunite with David Shaw almost 30 years after you guys first connected with the Raiders, and how important to see it to completing your vision for this offense?
Yeah, I mean, he's my best friend. And then he's the one guy. There's got to be one guy in this business that you trust, because it's hard to trust guys in this business. But he's been the one that we grew up together. We've always been friends for the longest time. So, I mean, we targeted him right away. And we were very fortunate to get him. I know he's been trying to be a head coach and this and that, and he will be in the league. But, to get him, because I know other teams wanted him, it's a big deal for me, because he's my soundboard. You know what I mean? And he lets me know the heartbeat of the staff sometime, or what the players, he can feel that, because he's done it at the highest level in college. So that was real big for me, getting him, man.
John, you talked about not changing too much, but obviously you're going to change some. What are the challenges of finding the balance when you're following somebody who's had a lot of success?
I don't look at who was here. I just concentrate on what I've known has worked in the past. And let's see if these guys can. I'm not going to put something in if I know they can't do it. I mean, why do that? I mean, what they've been doing here has been working. I don't think about who called plays and this and that. I don't compare myself with other people. I don't do that. I just try to be myself. I try to learn through my experiences, and we kind of go from there. I mean, the most important thing to me is the relationship with the quarterback and everybody. You know, that's what we got to do this offseason, so they kind of get a sense of how I feel, how I do things. I think that's important in how they see things. So that's the biggest thing. I don't get into that other stuff. All I worry about is this team and me, not who has been here. Listen, Ben did an unbelievable job. He's a hell of a coach, and I'm not taking that away from him at all. I would never do that because we're friends. But you know, we have to paint our own picture here, all right, so we can get the ultimate picture, which is a Super Bowl. Like, let's win now. Let's get it done. And we have the pieces. So it's my job, us as coaches, everybody. Okay, I'm just the orchestrator. Boom, they go do it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look. I don't know if I answered your question.
Is there an element or concept that you think is essential for any offense? Anything in particular that is most essential?
What do you mean?
Like,
You think I'm going to tell you what I'm going to put in?
well, something that you've always believed in, that you always lean on, that you're
I mean, a lot of it was already here. I mean, I was here 2 years ago, right? So there was a lot of stuff that I helped put in that I already know. They already know. So there's just a few wrinkles. No, not really. What's your team? What do you have? Okay, what are they good at? Okay, let's do that.
Everything you're building start really up front. I mean, you're inheriting an offensive line. I mean, look, games are won in the trenches, right? Both sides. And
Yeah.
You're inheriting an offensive line with 3 Pro Bowlers, 2 All-Pros. You know, got some decisions to make at guard, but just how does everything start and been built up front with guys like Panay and guys you know?
It starts up front, bottom line. Because if we can't run the ball or protect all these plays we draw up, it doesn't mean anything. We don't protect the quarterback. And running the ball helps protect the quarterback, right? So that's where it all starts. And like I said, it's what they've done here, and that's what we're going to do. And every game is going to be different to me. It's who are we going against? Let's attack the weakness. And if it means running the ball a bunch, then we do it. If it means drop back a lot or getting in empty or whatever, we'll do it. We'll do whatever it takes. That's kind of how I look at it. That's kind of how I've been taught.
One thing, John, about just Tesla, wanted to ask you about with Isaac, just picking up things as far as instruction, classroom stuff. It's early, but do you get a sense that that would help you use him in a versatile role, you know, if you need to inside, outside, whatever it might be?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know that yet. I mean, as a rookie, it's tough, man. Especially when you come from the college game and being a wide receiver. I mean, some of these guys ain't been in huddle. They haven't been in a huddle. They've gotten a signal from the sideline. They go line up. I mean, it's a lot. But I can sense that I think he will be okay. I do. And we have to be smart, you know, with rookies, especially wideouts, because everything is new. I mean, they're running routes they never even ran before in their life. And they're listening for the technique. And they got to read a defense. You know, there's a lot that's going on. I mean, when I had Michael Thomas his first year at New Orleans, we didn't give him every route. Man, you go master these routes right now. And then year 2, you know what I mean? And he still almost had 1,000 yards. I think he had 1,000, whatever. But that's the smartest thing to do, not give them a bunch of stuff where it's just overloading them. And we just bring them along. And we give them a little bit at a time. But we won't know all this stuff until training camp.